Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and to a new video where today we're going to be talking about Project Play at Chessington. So I'm here to say it has officially been confirmed that Project Play is going to be Paw Patrol themed. So taking a little step back, if you've seen on my channel, I've been posting some updates called the Project Play construction updates. Now this is where Scorpion Express used to be down in Mexicana. Of course, Scorpion Express stopped operation in 2021. The fate of the ride was unknown. However, of course, it was announced it was not going to open anymore. And then they did an auction to sell off the ride parts and theming in the area. That is of most recently. Then, at the start of the 2025 theme park season, the park did put construction walls all around the area. This being around the old VIP hub, the Mexico outlet, the food outlet, the little gaming area where all the bones were, of course down by Scorpion Express. Now, these also went right round to the Yoo-Hoo Zoo, as it was announced that at the end of the year, the Yoo-Hoo Zoo was going to be closing after the Zootastic weekends for the main season. So that is how much the construction walls are surrounding the area. The only way into Mexicana at the moment is through into Rattlesnake, but there are the walls dividing it that head you straight into where Croc Drop is. So of course, like I said, I've been posting these construction updates and the demolishment of the land. So I guess not construction, the deconstruction. Basically, what has been happening is, over those last videos, they have been knocking things down. So Scorpion Express now has completely gone. The ride has been demolished. All the buildings have now been demolished, and so has the Mexico food outlet. There is nothing in the area anymore. Most of the Yoo-Hoo Zoo is now completely gone, so it's completely just a rubble site now with everything that has been knocked down. So, the other day, it was officially announced over on Chessington's Instagram page and on their website that the brand new Project Play, the land coming in 2026 they are working on, is going to be Paw Patrol themed. So if you don't know what Paw Patrol is, it is a kids cartoon all about dogs, and they basically have jobs. They're working lives. They're working dogs. So the park announced this with an amazing concept art photo that I'll pop up on the screen for you here now. As you can see, this is the concept art that they came out with to announce all of this. You can see smack bang in the middle that there is going to be a form of play area with a massive themed slide. And it does look like it's going to be a big slide. So that is always great to see that they are thinking of putting a nice little play area in the land. You've then got to the right or the left, depending how you're looking at the picture. You've got the coaster. Now, this seemed to be a kid's My First Coaster type thing. With the plans that people have seen, it seems it's going to be very similar to Farmyard Flyer at Paulton's Park. Also very similar layout to the Flying Fish and, of course, Scorpion Express. It seemed to be a My First Coaster, which is great to see at the park because it does seem that the park is heading in a more child-friendly direction, especially with the IPs as well as the themes and the coasters. And we can see that, of course, with the World of Jumanji, the Sony IP that is on park at the moment. And then you've also, of course, got the Gruffalo as well as Room on the Broom and Coco Melon. Now, from what we do know with the plans, the Jungle Bus, which is down in Wild Asia, which is of course closed for the new land coming in 2027, that Jungle Bus is being moved down to the Paw Patrol area and is having a complete re-theme. Now, we can see in these photos two new seeming rides. Now, it does seem there's going to be a flying one in the air, which suggests to me it's very similar to the hot air balloon ride down at Legoland. That's what my idea is anyway. Potentially very similar to that. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. And then, of course, we've also got another ride. Now, I think this is very similar to the water ride down in Lego Mythica. Down there, I think it's going to be very similar to the water ride there. Again, could be very wrong. But with the layout, that's what I'm thinking. And of course, the main aspect as well of the photo in the middle is that you can meet and greet Paw Patrol characters, which I think is going to be so cool. And the park did subtly tease this with the teddies in one of their TikTok reels. So that is basically having a deep dive into that photo they released. And you can also see a little Paw Patrol sign come up on the website when you do head to the Chessington website now. And they have announced on that Instagram post confirming in the area will include a My First Roller Coaster, play areas, meet and greets and more. And like I said, this was the creative visual that they did give for us to have a little look at. So these are from Chessington on their Instagram page. They have now given us a look at the construction walls. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to head to the park yet to take a little look. But these are the construction walls around the area. All Paw Patrol themed, of course, teasing the new land. And they have got little photos of the characters with little write-ups, which I think is really, really cool. So if you don't know much about Paw Patrol, you can definitely have a little read. And there is QR codes you can scan as well to learn about the land and sign up for latest updates. The printout map has also now changed completely, where it says that New Land 2026, it does have the Paw Patrol themed bit now. So if you are wanting to pick up one of the maps, I definitely recommend it before that land officially comes to the map. So something I did want to head on here and say is kind of the last thing is about a couple of hours ago, the park did post this latest update. This is of course closer up of the artwork of kids meeting and greeting some of the characters. And this is basically teasing that there's going to be some Paw Patrol themed things that you can do and you can meet some of the characters prior to 2026 to kind of tease the land, get into it, bring the vibe of Paw Patrol to Chessington. So let me tell you the 3 things they announced. One of them I think is really major, which I think is so cool. So the first one is meet and greets. You can meet some of the Paw Patrol pups, such as Chase, Rubble and Sky during the May half term, which is of course coming up at the end of this month for a week. So I think that's awesome. I think this is subtly teasing the whole Paw Patrol thing. It's showing you what's going to come to the park, like the characters you can meet, especially if you're planning a future visit. I think this is awesome. So they've also announced an autumn adventure event featuring meet and greets with the pups, Chase, Rubble and Sky, and Marshall joining in too. So that's number 2, so you can meet those guys too. And I think number 3, I think this is amazing. Coming on later this year are going to be Paw Patrol themed rooms in the hotel. So, of course, when Jumanji came to the land, they created a whole corridor of about 5-6 rooms being World of Jumanji themed, the whole theme to the room. You had the Jaguar statue, it was themed to the film as well. You had the board game in there was so much. So that was one of the main things. You, of course, in the hotel have got the Room on the Broom themed rooms. You've got the animal themed rooms as well. And then you've also got the Gruffalo themed rooms. And obviously, of course, you used to have the Penguins and Madagascar rooms, which I did have the privilege of staying in during 2023. So, of course, it's an IP that's coming to the park. So they're bound to have themed hotel rooms. I think this is so cool. I would love to see them theme the corridor as well, like how they did with Jumanji. So you're like stepping into that whole new world when you're entering the hotel, down your corridor. It's all like themed to your, like, I guess, area for what you're booking. I think Paw Patrol theme rooms are going to be so cool, and I really, really want to check these out because I love a cartoon. I love watching Bluey. Paw Patrol is awesome, so I think these would be so cool to stay in. So that's kind of the major update that came off most recently from the park. So overall, what do I think? Chessington are definitely getting more IPs, which I personally really like. Don't get me wrong, I love when the park has their own themed lands. I love Vampire, I love Land of the Dragon, I love Wild Asia when it was there. But I do love an IP as well. I think Chessington, for them, it's definitely the right direction to go in. With it being a kids-themed park now, and then Thorpe Park and Alton Towers more for adults, I think Chessington are definitely going in the right direction. And also, with the offering of coasters, having a My First coaster there, that builds a child's confidence up to then be able to go on the bigger coasters like Dragon's Fury and the Vampire, and of course the park's first inversion coaster, Mandrill Mayhem, down in World of Jumanji. So I personally love that they've got the Paw Patrol IP coming to the park. But who knows, like, what else could we see? What more teasers could we expect from Chessington? So that is it for now, I guess. Project Play is no more. Paw Patrol themed land is coming to the park. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you understood kind of what was going on. I hope to head to the park soon to be able to check all of this out, especially those construction walls, complete clearing of this land and all the rubble. And then we can see this land be built from the ground upwards because, of course, it is opening in 2026. I'm assuming, personally, I'm thinking probably after spring 2026 because we've only got a couple of months left of this year. And I say that we're in May. We only have like 7 months left of the year. Of course, that is so much for them to do hard work in. Of course, like I said, Mandrill Mayhem, that opened kind of halfway, not even halfway, a quarter into the year. So I personally think we could see the Paw Patrol theme land opening around the April-May time, possibly ready for the May half term, if not the summer. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon on the channel for more Paw Patrol Land construction updates. Bye, guys.